Welcome to Beyond the Buzzer.
Hi, I'm Josh, and this is my best friend Kyle.
You might recognize us. We are rural American high school actors from the 90s, after all.
And we're here again on camera after 30 years to bring you our travels from
Beyond the Buzzer.
Hey guys, welcome back to Beyond the Buzzer. This is Josh Ace One back here with my best friend Kyle the Duke, and of course our other best friends Nick and Brandon. We're back in England today. How's everybody doing tonight? Kyle, how's it going? You want to lead us off?
Yeah, doing well. Now that, sorry for the delay on the episode. Everybody had to get through the holidays and whatnot, but now we've all kind of settled back into our normal routine and ready to give the people what they want and more of Beyond the Buzzer. So here we go.
The masses want this. They need it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We live in very divided times, and this brings everyone together.
Bringing it all together.
And
we
box
holding
just been blowing up, waiting for us to get back on.
All those
we weren't holding.
All those antsy Brandon fans out there,
Yeah,
That's right.
And not holding out for a marketing ploy, it just takes a little bit to get things together. We're back in 2024. Survived a mini blizzard today, folks. It's been foots of snow. I've had spare tires. So I started beer drinking early. These guys are joining in with me. But one of the best things about, I think, being in London was the pubs and stuff. Nick's got a lot of good insights on those. So I can't wait to get in there.
Yeah, so let's get going. So this is, I guess, day 2 here in London. And we start off, you can't go anywhere in London without seeing a lot of wizarding buildings and paraphernalia, but this is actually where they did a play or something that came out from Harry Potter, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Some wizarding lead thing, I think.
Yeah, the Cursed Child.
I only wish that we had taken photographs or videos of Barry Potter.
Yes,
right.
and Ted Sheeran.
Ted Sheeran, yes. We did see a lot of lookalikes while we were over there, but Barry Potter was definitely at a pub.
Yes.
I don't think he
Barry
got
Potter at a pub, and Ted Sheeran was doing a street performance outside of one of the winter markets that we went to. And,
yes. I don't think Barry got into Hogwarts. I think he was drowning his troubles away. But here we went through Trafalgar Square, and then we started the day at the National Gallery, which is free, by the way. Pretty impressive.
And we kind of ended up there by hapstance. I mean, we were just walking around and we're like, hey, look at this place. Oh, wait, it doesn't cost any money. Hey, let's go.
That's always a good thing. And you'll see a few artists here that you might have heard of. I believe we saw something from all 4 of the Ninja Turtles in here.
We did. I sent my friend, shout out to Darren Schock, poster artist that, I was like, hey, we saw like this, like Raphael and this, and his text back was like, all the turtles are there. I'm like, all of them, dude. All of them.
I am a little disappointed that we could not locate the Bob Ross wing.
I believe there's admission to get in that one.
Yes, the happy little trees exhibit.
But here we go. So I don't know if you guys can see it, but I actually got the artists and the titles of some of these down in the corner. That's just me. You talk about a work of art. There you go, right there.
Very much.
But here's a Raphael. Here was our first Raphael we encountered.
What weapons does anybody recall?
Raphael had the size, I believe they're called.
Oh yeah, the 3-bladed or the okay.
Here's our next turtle, Michelangelo, who of course had the nunchucks. I think everybody.
I'm not familiar with his work. Did he do anything important? I think he did some with some church somewhere, but I can't really remember it.
Something like that. He did a couple of things. Here's a Veronese. Now here's another guy people might have heard of. This Da Vinci guy. I heard he did a few things.
Couple.
Yeah, you can go see it at the Louvre right now. It's covered in tomato soup.
Yes, I saw that last night.
I did not see that.
Yeah, a couple protesters decided to cover it with tomato soup.
Because
nothing leads you to a cause like somebody coming and ruining your fucking vacation.
Well, and nothing will get through bulletproof glass like tomato soup.
Right.
Well, I mean,
I think if you took the pizza from the Heath cafeteria and threw it against there, it would melt through it.
it's possible.
Yeah.
I looked forward
Shit
to that
was-
day. I looked forward to that day. Are you
But
kidding
this,
me? It's great.
but this one is Virgin on the Rocks, which I think is actually mentioned in the Da Vinci Code. We've got some more Da Vinci Code references coming up later, but I'm pretty sure this was one of the paintings that was mentioned in there.
Great job of getting all the paintings labeled, by the way. That's super awesome.
You know, I have
This is why we keep you around, Kyle.
Yeah,
I know my technical expertise. So these are some Peter Paul Rubens, not to be confused with Paul Rubens, the late great Pee Wee Herman.
R.I.P.
or deli sandwiches.
Or the old folk band Peter, Paul, and Mary.
True.
True.
True. It's their cousin Reuben. It was off to the side. Here's another one. So Samson and Delilah. That one's, I've seen that around a lot, so people might recognize that one. Rembrandt, that's another one people might have heard of.
Look at the light on that one. That's awesome.
And that thing's huge. That thing, probably 15,
Yeah, it doesn't
16
do
feet
it quite
tall.
justice just how big some of these works of art, like when you're, well, there was one a little bit back where you had like somebody stand in front of it, just kind of shows you the scale of what these were.
Yeah, we'll see more of people standing in front of my pictures as we go. They like to do that. So here's just the inner hallway going down the different wings. It was really a pretty awesome building.
So lucky to stumble in there. And Kyle and I had just been over to the Louvre, so this was just a cherry on top, and a lot more artists that we hadn't seen.
Yeah, so this is the whole Raphael wing. Just there's a pretty good idea to show you just how big some of those pieces were.
My recollection of the Louvre was being so sore by the end of it that I'm like, I don't know if I can make it up this next set of stairs.
Right.
Yeah, Josh and I ran through it, but it's definitely, you could get lost in there for weeks for sure. So here's a Monet water. That's a pretty famous one. I think people will recognize that one. And it's very large.
The French artists, wonder how they got those.
But I don't know. I can't even write my name on the line, much less make a 20-foot painting of something.
Right.
Cezanne, he's another one.
That's beautiful.
Renoir, he's okay, I guess.
Nice pronunciation.
Now this picture we might have to spend a little time on because it really caught our eye. But this is
we had some grandiose plans for this that didn't.
We did. So this is The Drunkard Zaraz by Joaquin Sorolla y Batista. No idea if I said that right. I probably butchered it.
That's excellent.
But yes, we had grand plans for this when we saw it.
Yeah, it's a at the double L. I know this because of my Venezuelan influence in my house right now.
I see. Well, we will bow to you on the pronunciation, but here's just a taste of what our plan was. There you go. This is the drunkard Zarjosh.
It's an accurate representation. Effort, stoic Cartner in the background. Kyle trying to look away from the evil. Nick wondering what the fuck's going on. I think they wrapped it up pretty well here.
So yeah, so we had you guys saw in our last episode the Airbnb that we stayed in, and you'd say it was a bit eclectic.
Are you really going to disrespect its name? She'll come and get you. It's Annabelle's Murder Palace.
Yes, Annabelle's Murder Palace. And there was something about clowns in there too.
Well, Annabelle's Clown Murder, Murder Palace. That's right.
Yes.
Yeah.
But our plan was we were going to print this picture out and just hang it on the wall and leave it there and just see if anybody noticed. I don't think anybody would have. I think if we would have found somewhere to print it, I think we would have pulled it off.
I think it could probably be potential for a mural on the flood wall downtown Paducah at some point. We'll have to get that taken up with city council there.
Yeah.
Somebody called Chuck Tate.
Yeah, I was going to say, Chuck's got to know somebody that's got some pull to get that commissioned. Because, I mean, you can just see what a work of art that would be.
And if not, at least we could get it maybe on the wall right next to like Bud Mullen's car lot on the way down there. Like that would be like secondary. We could get it right there next to it.
We'll have canvas tote bags of this soon for your grocery shopping and farmer market needs.
Yeah, or if anyone wants a t-shirt, just leave us a comment. We'll be happy to give you pricing on that. probably going to be a pretty hot item though. So jump on that quick. So we had to leave it and move on to this guy called Picasso, who I guess you could call a decent artist. You know,
It's okay.
He had a moderate success, let's say.
Decent.
And then Seurat. So I believe that's Nick standing there, just to give you an idea how big that thing is.
Right.
So the other one of his photos, for those of you who don't know, if you've watched Ferris Bueller, is at the Art Institute in Chicago. Everything's painted with dots. So when you get real close to it, you can see everything's just a dot. Everything's just like that. So it's really cool to get close to. So if you remember, if we watch Cameron and Ferris Bueller, as he looks closer and closer, you can see all the dots on it. That's just another one. And they're both massive.
Yeah. And I'd just like to reiterate how much trouble I have just writing my name. And these guys are doing stuff like that.
No, and Brandon had a good point while we're there, because we're like, God, we don't even know what we're looking at. We're educated in this somewhat, but we really don't know that, Brandon's like, just look at what you enjoy. It's fun to see the different artists and compare them. So I don't know. That was a time well spent. It was a different world when you're looking at these historic paintings.
Yeah, I have no idea how to critique it. I just know I like what I like,
Yeah.
And it was just everywhere you looked.
And again, this was free. And these are a lot of names people are going to recognize.
And I'm pretty sure we were trying to get somewhere else. And we just popped out there and kind of stopped for a second. I don't remember where we were trying to get.
I think we were going.
Well, why don't we just go here?
We were going to go to the British Museum, and then
we were going to go to the War Museum, because we did walk over there and then realized, oh shit, it's closed.
Yeah. Well, this is free. Let's go in here, and here's Gauguin.
Well, and it doesn't do it justice on the screen, of course. If you haven't seen works of art like this in person, I hope this is they're mind boggling, and you can figure out why they're famous pretty quick.
Yeah.
And the way to become a serious art critic is you stand back like this, and then you have a friend take a picture of you in front of it. You put it on Instagram, and then you post a quote that has nothing to do with anything.
That is
excellent.
And then people like it, and then you're an art critic. So there you go. Yeah, that's the modern way to do things.
Yeah, I mock Nick's stance. I knew when he had it together, when he stood in front of the pictures like this with his hand on the chin. I was like, it opens another door, it unlocks some keys, and then all of a sudden the view is there.
That guy's taking art appreciation. There's no doubt.
Yes.
So here's a guy. His name is Van Gogh. Maybe you guys have heard of him. I don't know. He was pretty good.
As long as you're talking to one ear, not the other, because he cut one of them off.
That's true. So here again, another example of somebody that wouldn't get out of my way while I'm taking pictures of some Van Goghs. But
for Josh and I, he has a wonderful haircut.
That's right.
That's true. And this, I think, that's a Matisse. Again, probably not cheap. Manet and Monet right next to each other, just to help confuse you guys a little bit. That's another Cezanne. Now this guy, one of my relatives, you're going to see a lot of Wellington photos coming up, because like I mentioned before, that's my last name. So, I mean, the resemblance is uncanny, don't you think?
Very much.
Well, yeah. I mean, what we took that to multiple legal establishments in London to provide proof of your claim of inheritance.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure some property over there belongs to me. We just
can't coach that stature right there. It's poised, that's in the DNA.
That's just natural. That's just, So here's Horatio Nelson, his column in Trafalgar Square, as we begin our traversing to somewhere else.
I feel like instead of Look Kids Big Ben, it was Look Kids Trafalgar Square. I think like everywhere we walked through.
Yeah, we did.
There.
We did.
It seemed to be the point of where we were staying, that you just kind of had to go through that.
Yes.
Yeah. We walked through there several times. Here's another Wellington. I looked this up. This is actually Wellington's column. I don't think we knew that at the time. That was a lucky picture. So then we decided we were cutting through this park we're on our way to Buckingham Palace now, I believe.
But checking out the river on the
And
way down instead of just walking the road.
Just
Yeah.
notice the distance, how far the tall guys are ahead of the short guys. Because our legs just could not keep up with them.
The entire trip.
This was mine and Brandon's view a lot.
It's like me turning around to my kids like, hurry up, let's go.
You were being a creep staring at our asses, you weirdos.
Well, I mean,
I mean,
you do have a breathtaking hiney. What can I say?
right. I mean, what do you expect of us?
I want to be right. Pull out the Ron Burgundy meme if I want to be friends with it.
Yes, definitely. And we found a duck. He deserved a picture.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so here we come into Buckingham Palace. You can see there are a few other people headed that way.
Hyde Park right there. Isn't that Hyde Park across the street?
I think those it might be. I can't remember. I know we've got another picture of it coming up, but this is just going up. Here's the gates of Buckingham. There's one of the guards. And Josh and I talked about this. I don't know why he's wearing the gray instead of the red. I don't know what the qualifications are there.
The Imperial Guard wears red in Return of the Jedi.
Yeah, the Emperor wasn't there, I guess. I don't know.
True.
So here we all are. I didn't get the sunglasses memo, obviously, but Buckingham Palace.
Well, because you weren't expecting there to be sun in England, because who would?
Well, that's true. I was expecting rain.
Especially in December.
And I think this is the only day we got it. I think moving forward it was not.
It was more overcast.
Yes.
So here we
Especially
are,
that last day.
leaving the palace, moving along, and we're going to hit a few Wellington sites here again. So my apologies, but I was a little excited. That's the Wellington Arch there. There you go, Duke of Wellington Place. That's me in front of my arch. Pretty sure it's mine. We'll work out the logistics and stuff later, but
super walkable to all these sites really close together. Doing laps. We're doing laps. The gift shop in this place is amazing.
Lots of things that say Wellington on it, believe it or not.
I believe there were also some wines in there that said Wellington on them, and
Scotch,
I don't believe you bought one of them, which
No.
I must not have seen them, or I would have. That's Hyde Park there.
Okay. Sweet. That's kind of at the entrance of Buckingham, across from this park here.
So yeah, so there's the underground there. And then this is the Royal Artillery Memorial.
Mm-hmm.
And then we've got the Australian War Memorial here. So again, just history everywhere you look, really.
lots of criminals on that wall.
That's
Right.
That's true. I believe these are the Wellington Barracks. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nick's trying to talk them into letting us have a room in there for free.
Yes, I say, look, we're tired of paying.
Yeah, like come on, these are ours, but they didn't believe us for some reason. So here's the old War Office building, and then we make it to Westminster Abbey, which is just you're going to see. I mean, what we're going to say about this stuff is not going to do it any justice, but we're going to give it a whirl.
1066, we're walking past it, or like, Nick's been here, the other three of us haven't, and we walk up to the door. It's $35 admission. We have counsel, and it's like, I don't know. Nick's like, no, it's pretty good. Let's go inside. It's the best $35 I've ever spent on an exhibit ever.
That's what I was about to say. We actually sat there like, it's like, really, are we going to spend this? It's like, let's take a shot at it. And like you said, that was my number one spot of the whole trip. And I wasn't expecting it. And that's on me for not doing my research, but like,
if you go to London, just go to Westminster Abbey. Just
yes.
No question.
If there's any must see thing that we did personally, like that's number one on my list. If you go, it's non-negotiable. You got to go in.
40 monarchs have been crowned in that building since, like the year 1000, and they're all buried there. There are many, many more, as we'll see. So
I under-promised and over-delivered in that one.
Yes.
Yes.
I didn't pump it up to what it. Now, to be fair, I didn't have the previous opportunity to go where we got to go, which is, as we'll see through this, to the top.
Yes. who Josh told some people behind us that I paid for their admission, and you'd have thought I'd given him $1 million, and it wasn't true.
No, we gave him a free ticket. We had a free ticket.
We did, but
Yeah,
Josh told him I did it, and I'm walking down because you guys were all down, and I was last.
Yeah.
And some lady just comes up.
She was running up trying to thank me and get my attention and gush all over like how excited she was. And it's like, oh no, it was this man right here. He bought these tickets right
It's
here.
like, what the hell's going on?
I mean, like, lady, it was like 12 pounds. Like, it wasn't.
No.
Yeah, you'd have thought I'd given her the winning lottery ticket, and she was from like South Carolina or somewhere, oddly enough. Yeah.
She was from South Carolina. That's right.
Yeah. Because when she first started talking to me, she talked to me like I couldn't speak English. And then I opened my mouth. She's like, you got to be from somewhere pretty close to where I'm from. Like, you are right.
Not only do I understand you, we got the same dialect.
Yes, indeed. So here we are going in, and then you just walk in the door, and it's just immediate amazingness.
Yeah, I didn't realize it was a chapel in the cemetery, but that becomes apparent really, really quick. You get to see everybody that's buried there forever and ever. And of course, it's huge propaganda for English nationalism, but I mean, these are real names and real graves.
Yeah, so we're going to go through some of these pretty quick. Some of the big ones we'll stop and talk about a little bit. But
Let's say the first corner we turn, once we make it down this hallway, we make like a big U-turn. It's like, oh.
Yeah. And it's just, I mean, this is just, I think just walking in. So here we go. We got to stop and get the, obligatory selfie of all of us before we continue our adventure. And I believe, Nick, didn't you say this was like the first Instagram post or something?
Yeah, the first Instagram post. Yeah. Something along those lines. Yeah.
Something like that. Yeah.
Somebody like, oh, look, give me lane over here. Like, nobody noticed me right in the middle of a place. I'm not picking up anybody's time. I'm just going to lay right here.
It's just, the stained glass windows.
Speaking of which, the number of Instagram assholes that we saw that I wanted to push into the Thames River so many times, like people like jumping up on top of the red phone booths and like just doing the dumbest shit. I'm like,
and there was one of those red phone booths had a huge line. There was like 200 people in line.
Yeah.
I think it was the one that was in the Harry Potter movie. But
there was a lot of them right next
every
to
20
them.
feet, there was one exactly.
Yeah, they're everywhere.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
I remember that. Yeah, I was like, ugh.
Now, this is Lord Lister. We took this picture. He was actually the first person in London to get ghost flames on his horse-drawn carriage.
And you can see that is ghost flame marble mined in Italy to put underneath him there. That's ghost flame marble.
Yes.
And as the resident Italian, I can confirm its authenticity.
So there you go. You heard it here, so you know it's real. But yeah, we had to take a picture of that.
So you not only did you see the plaque of Lord Lister, but you also saw Blister in
Belgium. He's everywhere. He's a worldwide phenomenon. Oh man. So yeah, so again, here's just some of these. I guess these were all pretty important people in England at one time.
I don't want to spend the night in there by myself at all. It's crazy how much history and how much just grandeur for all these people's lives and how much money they had to be able to result.
I would say we're getting up to a rather important person.
Yes.
These two.
Yes. So you might
was the very first one we rounded the corner, was it Galileo or was it?
We got
it's this fella right here.
Isaac Newton.
His name rhymes with Isaac Schmooten. He was important, I think.
So if you've seen or read that, here's our Da Vinci Code coming up again. This played a pretty important role. This was what was it in London? A night, a pope interred, whose labor's fruit the holy wrath incurred. I can keep going if you'd like, but
it's been a blink since I read a Dan Brown book.
He's good. I like him, but this was also Tom Hanks stood in front of this, I do believe. You seek the orb, I'll be on his tomb.
Kings, queens, scientists, writers.
Rosy
All
flesh
the
and seeded womb.
And they don't bury the kings and queens there anymore. There was like a cutoff, like at some point where
And-
they're all buried in some of their castle, but this is
You
the
know,
old one.
and oddly enough, this was one of the few places I did not see the name Wellington. So we didn't
Right.
cut it to get in Westminster Abbey, I
No.
guess.
You just have to live with your own multiple monuments and buildings.
Yes.
And once again,
Oh,
once
well, we
again,
didn't get into Westminster Abbey. We'll just have to deal with this arch and this massive spire and these barracks.
You know, we'll take what we can get.
once again, the scale doesn't do it justice of just
No.
how massive this place is.
Yeah, it is huge. You see a lot of selfies of Brandon and I because we're so far behind.
Yep, trailing behind, just toddling behind.
Well, because Josh and I don't have the patience to be that. So we like, I got to go to the next thing.
We gotta move. There's a beer after this.
Got to go. There's something
Yeah.
else to do.
Yeah, and I'm too fat to run, so Brandon's just nice enough to hang back with me.
No, if I went back, I'd get the speaker tour, like, where you could take your time and go through and hear about all this stuff too, like Brandon did when we went to the Churchill Museum, because it would be really fun. But you get enough just going through it and seeing all these graves. This is Captain Cook.
Yeah, Captain
That's-
Cook, who I believe he discovered Hawaii or had something to
He
do with
went, he
Hawaii.
sailed all over the Pacific. Apparently, he was a cartographer.
Well, people need their maps. But yeah, he was a pretty good sailor, apparently.
The trick is to let the boat do all the work.
Yes. There's
For
some
those,
more
that's a What About Bob reference. Very obscure. Sorry about that.
some more early Instagram
I'm
poses.
sailing.
I'm sailing. I'm a sailor.
I'm sailing.
And
Yeah, and this episode's full of a lot of pictures and a lot of sites, but we're just trying to show you, like, if you haven't been over there, like it's one view after another if
Yeah,
something worked for.
I'm clicking through these pretty fast, but you got a pause button, so feel free to use it. I think this was something to do with John the Baptist,
Mm-hmm.
the chapel of John the Baptist. Yeah, people might have heard of him. Played a fairly significant role in something. What we got here? So here's Henry III. A few Henrys, a few Richards through here.
Mm-hmm.
A few Marys.
Some Charles.
Yeah. Some of these were
I
just
mean, the interesting thing is that we look at it and based on our small history,
right.
we look at things like, oh, well, this place has been open for 100 years. Like Lafitte's Lafitte's blacksmith shop in New Orleans is apparently like the oldest pub in the United States. Now, I lived in Chicago for so many years, and we go to like Kelly's Pub or Marge's Still, and they've been open maybe 100 years. And everywhere you turn there, a place has been open for 200, 300, 400 years. And you're like, okay, I'm sitting in a bar that was here in the 1500s.
And this lineage is all there. You see this family to that family to that family, the whole entire heritage of it.
And yeah, and we're gonna get it to one of those pubs here because we went to a pub right after this, shockingly enough. And
Right.
the white, what was it? The white something on
White
Drury
Hart.
Lane.
White Harvey Drury
White Hart,
Lane.
Yep.
Yeah.
Harvey
And
Drury Lane.
we'll get to that here shortly. It's pretty impressive. So here's Edward III. Now, I took a picture of this because I saw Lady Jane Seymour, and I thought it might have been the Jane Seymour that married Henry VIII, but this is a different one, apparently. Also, not Jane Seymour, the actress. She's not old enough. She's still alive.
It's important to
actually.
note.
So yeah, there's not Richard II, and I believe we're going to hit some Marys and here's the authors. So Geoffrey Chaucer, Alfred Tennyson, T.S. Eliot, George Eliot, Dylan Thomas. I think Lewis Carroll's coming up, who of course wrote Alice in Wonderland. Then this one guy you guys might have heard of.
Definitely was not on LSD.
No,
When,
not at all.
when Alice in Wonderland. No.
So here's this guy called Shakespeare, who I heard wrote a few things that people have read at one time or another. And I mean, there's 5 Shakespeares right there. in one picture.
I've seen Nick weave words together like a master many times, so we'll let him lead on most of those.
Oh, wait, no, that's. I will not read any of these.
Oh,
But,
uh-oh,
going through
he's
some old memorabilia. I found this from English in high school, our senior year, and it has things in it, and I will never read them to anyone because I read them now and I go, "Fuck."
I was gonna say that could be an entire episode. I think.
No, that
dove
is an
into
episode
that.
that will never be
Is that-
published.
Was that Jackson? Is that who he had?
Yes, that was.
Ah.
Sorry, Miss Jackson.
Just enjoy these
Ceiling.
pictures of Westminster Abbey as we reminisce about high school English class. People,
And like we said at the end, we got a chance to go to this bonus room upstairs, but we had like
Ugh.
30 seconds to buy the ticket. So I took off in one direction. They went in another direction. So I bought more
No,
tickets.
no, we
did
were there.
eight.
Did we? Was it you and I? And then we had to go like race to find them. Or?
Yep.
yeah, because we got separated because we were so far
Yeah.
behind you, tall bastards.
I sprinted across and like I think some of the guys in the red jackets shamed us a little bit for taking down the velvet ropes as we went through areas, and we made it back in time. And that's when we kicked those tickets to the South Carolina family, trying to keep it real for the South.
That's right.
It's like marry this. It's like, what's this, Kyle?
I think we were going through Mary Queen of Scots there.
Yeah,
Mhm.
And that's just an old stone coffin.
that's from.
This
God
is when
knows
we were, yeah. Here's a picture out the stairway as we were going up the stairs, which I just thought was pretty amazing.
If you want London vibes, this is your spot.
The courtyard, because they have monks and stuff that stay there on premises.
Did I send you the pictures from
the forbidden pictures? No, I never got them.
Well, some bitch. We're gonna have to pick
We'll
that
have
one up. I'm gonna have to send that to you.
Yeah, we'll have to put those in the deleted scenes.
We were not permitted to take pictures, but me being who I am, decided that I was going to say
Taking pictures
"Fuck off,"
anyway.
and I'm going to take pictures and videos while I'm up there. But I just held it
'Cause
really close.
There were copies of the Magna Carta and stuff up there, right? Like pretty
Yes,
significant.
Magna
stuff.
Carta was up there.
I'm
Absolutely.
gonna
So
take
this-
credit for noticing that one. Y'all went by and I'm like, guys, it's like the Magna.
Magna Carta.
That's a
It's-
fairly
rumor
important
is
document.
it has some historical. It's a document that has some historical significance.
A little bit.
So this is some of the original tile, I believe. That's why that's all marked off.
From medieval. Yeah, one of the big original rooms.
There's the oldest door in Britain, which is pretty amazing if you think about it.
That's insane. Because wood doesn't last.
Pick's chamber, just a little chamber down through there. A hallway that Nick and Josh had trouble standing up in. Some more of the courtyard.
You know, if you
Here we go.
Oh yeah, that place.
hold up a thought here, because I do have screen share ability because in my technological profession, I can screen share from my mobile. I could show some of the forbidden pictures, or
Let's
we want
go.
to just move on and save that for a later date. and
We
time.
might have to save it for another time because we've got about 5 minutes on the clock here.
So Nick, like you were saying, the oldest bars in the country, 100 years old. That would have been
Yeah.
the youngest bar we went into.
Yeah.
The whole time we
Yeah.
were there. Would have
This
been
one
100
was-
years old.
1216.
1216. This has been there since 1216. This is where people got to have their last drink on the way to the gallows. They pull over here and get post up, get a pint, then go get hung. And
Yeah.
I don't know.
And it's on
still,
Drury
still-
Lane, right down from the Muffin Man. So
still in operation. The white, was it? The White Harvey Drury Lane.
No, the White Hart.
the White Hart.
White
Yeah.
Hart. Yeah.
And then here's bangers and mash that I had that was delicious. This is
But that one
Josh's.
was mine.
Was that yours?
This is
Well, I
mine.
got it
Yeah,
too.
because that's my hat. Don't try to steal my thunder.
Well, I ordered the
is my-
same thing because I want to be like you when I grow up.
Yeah. And,
Shepherd-
we also went and got one of the worst room temperature beers
Oh
that
yeah.
I've ever
That
had.
was bad, but everybody
We get-
dogs
we got
the food over there. But I thought the food was fantastic. I didn't have
This
anything
was-
bad while we were
This
over
is
there.
like even an old school English dish before they fixed the food over there, and the flakes on this and the gravy and mashed potatoes. I mean, you're living on that.
So here
mean,
we
I
are,
didn't-
believe it or not, in another pub.
I mean, I didn't have a bad meal, but I literally ate fish and chips every meal. I did not stray.
And I had it several times myself because it's so good. Josh brought out his Peaky Blinders hat so people wouldn't mess with us.
Yeah, they knew I was part of the scene as soon as I got this thing on.
And your accent is clearly from Birmingham, so you were
dead on.
Yeah,
spot on.
I played for a Black Sabbath cover band, you know.
So here's our beers as we ended the night after a full day of art and Westminster Abbeying.
This
Josh,
is one of those
pub crawling to ancient pubs, as far as we're concerned.
Oh,
I think this was a heavy Sammy Smith's bar again, right? They had a lot of Sammy
It was.
Yeah.
Which, shout out Sammy Smith.
So this is actually our last slide. So this is going to lead into a future episode, but we just happened, we had 3 UK fans and a Michigan fan, and we just happened to meet a group of guys with the exact opposite numbers. So of course we immediately became best friends.
Our parallel universe. And then after this, they started ringing bells to make us leave because pubs don't stay open at midnight. They make you shoo you off to clubs or something. So they made us go. We weren't quite ready. We were just making our bathroom breaks or finishing our last pints. And then instead of us, the guy at the next table spilled all over the wine, all over himself and his guest before I had a chance to do it. Stole my thunder. And then we made our exit.
Yeah.
So might I say real quick, University of Michigan Wolverines, national champions. Shout out to Jay Knight.
Congratulations.
Fellow Wolverine fan. Eat shit, SEC. Eat shit.
We stopped there. We're not going to go that far.
I have no qualms with that as far as football goes.
Yeah. The Cats are off to a good start, though. We're going to finish up our London stuff soon. We're going to get back into some new exciting stuff. Thanks for your patience going through a bunch of pictures and in the grave sites at Westminster, but it's just hoping to show some scenery and show that we had a good time just chilling on days like that.
Yeah,
too.
so be sure to check us out next time. I think our next trip is to Abbey Road and the War Museum. One more day before we get to the big game, and lots more stories and pictures and stuff to share. So yeah, and it won't be as long of a break between episodes next time.
Yeah.
No holidays and stuff coming up.
Yes.
But
to all our adoring fans out there who just
can we just go back? Can we just go back?
Oh,
I just want to be back there.
I think of that every time I'm sitting on my couch.
Go back and do it all over.
It's not too far. There's a trip in April coming up. I've got it circled on my calendar. We'll see if we can make that happen. We got some other plans to get together, us four, some other friends. So we got Kyle and I got to get together over the holidays. Brandon came over. We had a ping pong tournament. So we're still getting together, folks. We'll touch base on all that stuff.
Who won the ping pong tournament?
We'll get into that in a later episode.
Who won the ping pong?
The only person that could stand at that point in the evening.
Yes.
No, Kyle could too. Thank you very much. You couldn't. Neither could Jeremy. But Kyle could.
Jaw tried.
Yeah.
He was.
But yeah, guys, we're gonna have to sign off. We're about to click off here. But thanks for joining us. But we got much more to come. So we'll see you soon. So again, I am Kyle, aka the Duke.
This is Josh Ace1. This is our buddies Nick and Kyle.
Nicknames
hope
coming.
everybody had a good evening. Beyond the buzzer, folks.
Or Brandon.
Later.
Or Brandon.